Hi, welcome to the rant. I'm John Shannon. Got involved today in a new website, just like I need something else to do, I guess. But I got involved in a website called debate.com. Looks like kind of a fun little place to go, where you can engage in one-on-one debates with other members. Seems like it's harmless fun. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I've got one debate in there currently, and that's going to be the subject I'm going to address on this rant. Nice to be back doing this again after a couple of days. I guess I just kind of took the weekend, or most of the weekend, off. I also took the weekend off, I guess I should say, from doing the rants. I actually had to work a little bit this weekend, which is something I don't generally have to do. The subject that I got on with this new forum was about healthcare and health insurance. Now, as I see things panning out here, affordable / accessible health insurance is going to be one of the primary issues in this upcoming election. I think, especially when it comes down to the general election. I think that despite the importance of things such as national security, the border security, the war on terror, and the war, subsequent war in Iraq and Afghanistan, those are all very important issues, but I think that a lot of Americans are looking a little bit closer to home, and one of the things they're definitely looking at is the fact that there are just an enormous amount of Americans that are uninsured, and most of them that are uninsured are so because they can't afford the premiums. I know in my particular case, being self-employed, health insurance for me, if you can find it at all, is at a very, very outrageous cost, and I don't have the time. I don't have the money for it. Now, fortunately, again, in my case, my wife Lori just took a job. Actually, took a pay cut to get this job, but it does offer benefits for both of us. But even so, for her to cover both of us, it's still going to cost us around $200 a month. Well, that's better than nothing, but it's still, I think it's still more expensive than it should have to be. And one of my solutions, and the solution that I proposed in this fun little debate.com, was the possibility of having mandatory coverage for all Americans. Now, that doesn't mean mandatory participation in a single payer program, i.e., socialized medicine. I would be more interested in having a system similar to basically how we buy car insurance these days. Every state in the union, to my knowledge, requires mandatory car insurance. And since doing that, the actual cost of the obtaining car insurance is a lot less than it was 20, 25 years ago, before all states made it mandatory. And I think you'd have the same result if every single American was involved. You'd still have the choice of insurance companies. Obviously, the insurance companies would be competing for your business, much like they're doing now with auto insurance. There would be people that would be, quite frankly, in a risk pool. Those who engage in risky activities, who have a lifestyle that may be, let's say, maybe termed risky. I'm not gonna touch that. You can leave that for what it's worth. And people, quite frankly, like myself, who are overweight and have pre-existing conditions. My pre-existing conditions pretty much exclude me from any just open enrollment or open coverage. I have to get it through either my work, if I was doing something other than being self-employed, or in the case of with my wife being or getting insurance, we can get it that way. But this is the first time I've had health insurance available to me for several years, and fortunately I've been able to, right now I take quite a few medications and I pay cash for them. Fortunately, Walmart has their little deal for I can get a majority of my prescriptions for under $20. But I do have a couple of big ones that one runs me about $90 a month, and one runs me about $50 a month. And I know that's chump change compared to what some Americans pay for their insurance, especially, for their prescriptions. But nonetheless, when you only make as much money as I do, I obviously don't qualify for any socialized programs to get help with medications, so it's coming out of my own pocket. So, anyways, that's my position. I would like to see some form of mandatory participation in buying health insurance. I think that it would drive the costs down. I think that there would be a lot more choices available for consumers. I really, like I said, I am not in favor of any kind of a single payer or socialized medicine, but I don't see any of the Republican candidates at this point in time addressing this problem at all. So if they don't come up with something soon, I may have to lean towards the Democrats, and that very thought sometimes scares me too. Don't worry, it won't be Hillary. Folks, that's it for the rant today. Until the next time, this is John Shannon, the Redneck Cabbie. Adios.